Okay, so here's the second of two videos, but you don't really need to watch the first one unless you miss Wednesday for some reason. So I kind of find where you're at, but if you're here on Wednesday, here's the video. So let's just kind of highlight these situations here. We have the sine graph here, y1, the sine graph x plus 2, and then the sine graph x sine of x minus 1. Now the key thing that we're going to want to look at for each of these is the line where they're symmetric through. This represents the vertical shift. So all of these are going to have the same amplitude. 1. All of these are going to have the same period, 2 pi. All of them are going to have the same phase shift, nothing. They're starting right at 0. When you see phase shift, you want to think starting point. And vertical shift, they are up 2. So 0 for this one, 2 for this one, and -1 for this one. For the next one, now we're going to look at what phase shifts are. So phase shifts are the starting points for each of these. So this one starts here at -pi, 0, and pi over 2. So if we chart each of these, we are going to have the first graph, y equals sine of x, just like before. Go through there. Then we're going to have y2 sine of x minus pi over 2. That's going to be shifted to the right, pi over 2. And then finally y3 sine of x plus pi, that's going to shift it left. So we're going to look at all those things in a little bit more detail, but here are the things that stay the same. The amplitude, oh sorry, writing in a highlighter, that's my worst mistake on these tablets. Amplitudes are all 1, periods are all 2 pi. The phase shift is going to be different, but all the vertical shifts are 0. Their midlines have not gone anywhere from the x-axis. So where are those phase shifts going to be? Well, for the first graph, it starts at 0, so that's what we put. The phase shift for y2 is pi over 2 right. So we're going to write that out. That way it's just clear communication, and I think that's the best approach to do with this. And negative, oop, I wrote that in the wrong spot. Sorry about that. So let me erase that. That goes over in the other one. Pi over 2 right. And then the phase shift is going to be pi left for this one. So those are the key characteristics. So let's summarize everything that we've done so far. And that's going to be on the next page. So based on the previous page, here's what these transformations do. The A value is the amplitude of the graph. The B value tells us the period, or horizontal stretching and shrinking. And remember, the period ends up equaling 2 pi divided by the B value. And today we learned about C. C equals our phase shift. And D is going to equal our vertical shift, but our midline is always going to be at y equals D. And similarly with our phase shift, we're going to start at x equals c. Notice the negative, but x equals c is our main point. So let's just identify these from the problems below. Given the graph, identify the amplitude, period, midline, domain, and range. Well, first we want to identify our midline. So that's where it equally parts above and below. I can see that here, -2 to 6. If I wanted to do the math, I could check that out, but I know that's going to be my range too. -2 to 4. That's 6 apart, so halfway between them is going to be 1. So the midline is y equals 1. Domain is always -infinity to infinity. Period, that's going to be, well, we have to count and see how far apart these are. So if I look at the top to the top, we're at pi over 2 to 5 pi over 2. That's 4 pi over 2, so that's 2 pi apart. And the amplitude, how far is it from here to here, is going to be 3. So try that next one on your own, pause the video, and then I'll give you the answer. Now that you tried the previous one on your, this one on your own, let's check your answer. So the midline, oops, let's use the highlighter. Midline's going to pass right through there. So that's going to be y equals -2. Amplitude's one above and one below that. Period, well, we're going from -1 or 0 to 4 pi, so that's a period of 4 pi. Domain, well, that's always going to be -infinity to infinity. And the range, the minimum, -3 to the maximum, -1. So let's keep on going, let's practice some more. So here we're going to graph. And notice the directions. State the amplitude, the period, phase shift, and vertical shift. Then graph one period of the function. Be sure to label and include both axes. So what am I looking for? Well, let's first identify these key characteristics. And what I'll do is I'll highlight and color code here. So amplitude is 5. The period, well, that's going to use the b value. Remember, that means it's 2 pi divided by b. So b is 2. So that's going to be so that's going to be 2 pi divided by 2, so that's pi. Phase shift, there's nothing being added inside the function, so that's just going to be 0. And then 3, how much is being added on afterwards? It's a vertical shift up 3. So how do I graph this? Well, I want to go up on this line 3 units. That's going to be my midline. Then I'm going to mark 5 above and 5 below. So that's going to put my max values at 8, my minimum values at 3 minus 5, so -2, and my midline is going to be at 3. Oops. Key thing is that you clearly label your max and your mins. So I'm going to erase that 2 pi over b now. Not really helpful to us when we're trying to graph this. So the period is pi. So remember, to graph this, we start at pi. Well, first we have to remember this is sine. So this starts at the midline, goes to the max, then back to the midline, minimum, and then midline again. So we have our points, we just need to figure out where the points are going to lie. So if we start with our increment, so the period is pi divided by 4. So we start at 0 on the midline. Then we go to the maximum at pi over 4. 2 pi over 4 is back to a midline. 3 pi over 4 is unfortunately going to be right where we're marking this. That looks like a 5 now, better make that look like a 3. And then 4 pi over 4 is going to be back to the I'm really good at this on paper, but this seems to be a new challenge for me. Okay, there we go. Labeled those key things, that's it. You're done. You can graph it. So let's look at a cosine, and then I'll give you time to just look at the rest of these and check your answers. Cosine. Unlike sine, it has a different pattern. So I'm just going to fill this out on the bottom here. Cosine starts at a max, then goes to the mid, then min, then midline, and back to the max. Okay, that pattern will help us graph this. Amplitude 2 comes from here. Oh. Period, no b value. There's nothing being multiplied, so that's going to be 2 pi. Whenever you have a period of 2 pi, it's going to go like the unit circle, so we already know how we can mark some of this. Phase shift, we're going to be 3 pi over 2 right, and then vertical shift is down 4. So I mark 4, that's my midline. Use a highlighter to mark that up. Then I need to put 2 spots above. That's going to be my minimum, and 2 spots above is my maximum. So that's already taken care of. But now this phase shift, I have to start at 3 pi over 2. Well, how am I going to add that on? Well, it goes like the unit circle. So let's check our increment. Our starting point is 3 pi over 2. Our increment is 2 pi, the period, divided by 4. So we're going to add on, simplifying that, pi over 2. So my next point is going to be 4 pi over 2, 5 pi over 2, 6 pi over 2, and 7 pi over 2. When you get to 5 spots, you can stop graphing it, because if we look here, this is all the values we need. So now let's plot the graph. We start at the max. So 2 above here, then to the midline, then to the minimum, back to the midline, then back up. The key idea here is that we have curvature. We don't want straight lines. Okay? So on the next page, try those on your own, and you can check the answer key to check that, and I'll get another video posted of those briefly.